this one.
But so you don't, you say you don't do the technological part, so
No.
what do you tell them what can be done and
Yep.
how they should think about it, and
It's
you do a lot of reflection.
Yeah, well, for me, the change is, again, it's a mind space change.
Right.
I can tell them how to use the stuff. I can give them ideas on what might be useful. I can, you know, all that sort of stuff. And that's what we have technicians for. You know, I mean, technicians. Excuse me. Technicians are really only there to implement the ideas that we have. You know, I mean, that's what they're there for. And our problem, at least in my industry, has been that technicians have formed systems that we have had to fit our material into.
Exactly.
When it should be exactly the other way around, that we have stories that we want to tell, and technicians should then be there to put in place the ways that we want those stories to be told. It's two very different ways of approaching technology and technological change, and I think it's an important one for us as well. That, and this is important for me, that this course, for my part of this course, are not a technology course. You're not here to learn about how your computer works, or you know how your mobile phone works. We'll look at those things and help you in as much as I possibly can to get them to do that. But that's not the important thing. It's not a technological course. It's not a technology course. It's an ideas course about how we can implement it, how we can come to ideas that then we can say, okay, now this and this and this technology would be useful to get that done, and if I can't do it, I'll find somebody else who can. That's the basic premise of what we're doing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Any more questions?
How much is form important in whatever we're doing at this point?
That's a really good question, and I would say that, and it's a question that I have my own personal answer to, which most people don't agree with. And I think that form doesn't fucking matter at all. If you look in Sweden at the most successful web newspapers, they are the least designed newspapers. The only ones that are making money are newspapers that have a web design that any web designer who looked at them would get a heart attack, die on the fucking spot. Because they look really horrendously awful. You can't understand how anybody could possibly navigate the fucking shite that is there. It is impossible, but they do, and they keep coming back, and they make money. Whereas some of the really, really beautifully designed websites out there are really, really beautifully designed. But that's it.
Yeah, but what if you have both?
Then you're sailing. I would say, you know, I mean, perfect form is a function of perfect usability. And the other way around. Form and function go hand in hand in a lot of ways. Not necessarily in the marketplace, but they do. And I mean, I buy all of my, I only buy books by their cover. I only buy computers by the way they look, because almost all fucking computers are the same anyway, you know. So my point, for me, it's why buy an ugly machine when you can buy a beautiful machine? You know, I really just don't understand why you wouldn't, which is why I have Mac and not PC. But, you know, I mean, so for me, form is important, but I would say that, you know, as an information tool, I can't see that it's as important as the information itself. But yes, I would agree that if you've got both, you're saying. But that's just me. I'm very often wrong.
But isn't this like controlling the perception that I can shine the image and it could sell?
Yeah,
But that's manipulation.
Well, man, we do that all the time. I mean, why do we dress ourselves the way we dress ourselves? We dress ourselves because we want to control the perceptions that other people have of us. You know, some people dress in suits because they want to be perceived as somebody who is a suit dresser. Some people dress like I do because they want to be perceived as somebody who dresses like I do. Some people wear short skirts because they want to be perceived as somebody who does that. Some people don't. Some people wear heavy because they want to be perceived as that person. So we always try and control the perception of people around us in everything we do, I would say. But again, I would say an awful lot and how. So I think that maybe we should leave it there and let you talk. So, what did you think about yesterday and what do you expect from today? And we'll start with you, because always people start on the call.
Yeah. With me.
You to you.
Wonderful.
Lucky you.
Oh my God. You mean the last weekend or just yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. I mean, because you've already said what you thought about the day before, yesterday. So what you think about yesterday, good, bad, and what do you expect from the day?
well, I have to remember first. Yesterday was great and was actually better than the day before. For me, I felt better about myself, about the people around me. I get to know people more. Actually, I felt more optimistic because apparently I was into lots of things personally. And for today, I think I'm gonna understand actually what this program is all about, because frankly, I thought that we're gonna learn more techniques more than the theoretical part, but now you stated that it's not about you're gonna teach us the techniques, it's more about how approach to think, how to gather ideas. This is very important to me, and I felt kind of relief because concerning techniques, I'm very, that's it.
Okay. I would say that you do need to understand the technology. Everybody needs to understand the technology, which doesn't mean, I would say that it has to be like this. How many of you drive? How many of you know where to put the air into your tires? How many of you know where to put the petrol into your tank? Right. How many of you know where the engine is? Right. That doesn't make any of you technicians, it doesn't make you mechanics, but you do need to know the basics of the tools that you use to be able to actually function in the system that you're in. And so if you see this as that basic sort of course that will give you those basics, so that you'll know that there is an engine, that there is somewhere to put air into the tires. So on that level, it's important to know. But then mechanics can fix your engine problems, technicians can fix your technical problems. Okay, so to understand the program and to get to grips with tech issues. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Actually, about yesterday, it was good and it was better, as she said. And about today,
What was better? What was actually better?
Practicing. It was very good. Understanding what we want to do. And I hope for today to clarify the view about what we will do, because it's really, yesterday when Rogers tell us about what we have to do, it seems first, oh, it's hard work, it will be hard work, it's not easy. It's need hard work from us. That's it.
Yesterday, I left on sort of a worried note, because once we went into like a very concrete task again, we reverted back to old habits very, very quickly. So that's, I think, sort of the challenge that I'm going to take on, is to try to talk about crocodiles instead of snowstorms a lot. And I'll probably be annoying. Expectations. I haven't gotten there, but I probably should get there. I hope to have expectations by the end of the day, like sort of more concrete expectations.
All right. Cool.
Yesterday was better than the day before, so it was like a step forward for me in sharing and learning. That's it. So my expectation for today is to start the program and learn what social media and what all the other stuff like blogging and this stuff.
So practical stuff. Okay.
I just look forward to just really start the actual work.
And yesterday?